Hello, welcome to Flooring Models Kit Review time. Today we've got something totally different. Now, sometimes I'm given stuff, or lent stuff. In this particular case, I've been loaned this kit, and I'm told just to have a look at it and tell me what you think. And I'd just like to share my views with you. Sometimes it's a kit, and I'm sent an early test shot. Sometimes I just go out and buy the kits myself, whichever way it is. But every now and again, something turns up and you're like, never heard of it, know nothing about it, and then you're really pleasantly surprised, okay? So to be honest, for a change, I have seen inside this box because it was shown to me when I took delivery. So what we've got down here is Iconic's kit. Now, I've never heard of them either, so it's a little bit different for me. It looks like they're a UK company, but again, I know nothing about them whatsoever. I haven't really done my homework on this, but what we do have down in here is a beautiful 1/32 scale Supermarine Attacker. It's the F1, the FB2 version of it. Now again, I'm not totally up to early jet Navy aircraft, things like that. There was quite a few of them that got, went through service very, very quickly and then superseded, obviously, as technology moved on really quick. But it's really nice when you see these one come out. And I have seen it in real life at, obviously, Yeovilton Air Museum. It's got a few of these things. And again, it's just something a little bit different that you don't seem to see. Maybe we've seen it in 48th in injection, but never actually in 32nd. Now, the other big thing about this kit is it's resin. So I know a lot of you now are thinking, oh, no, I don't do resin. Trust me, stick with me for this one. It's going to be quite interesting. Anyway, down in the box we can see nice little bit of box art on the front down in here. It does send that it's an unassembled resin kit and it does require glue and all the rest of it. Oops, there we go. We got some various markings down in here. So we've got 800 Squadron, HMS Eagle, 1952. And then we've got the other one down in here. Obviously it's got the tank underneath down in here as well from 800 Squadron on HMS Eagle. It is made in England, which makes a change. I'm going to be a little bit careful throwing this box around. Okay, and there we go. We've got a little bit more down in there as well. I don't think actually I can see a kit number unless I've gone blind. Let's go around in here. Can't actually see a kit number for this particular one, but again, we'll get to that in a moment. Okay, so we're greeted by a very nice box. Now again, this is a pre-production run, test shot we're thinking and all the rest of it, so we're not too sure. So obviously I'm sure there'll be better instructions coming along in a moment. So if we just have a quick skim through in here. So we've got usual thing about the actual attacker itself, some of the details in it. Safety, obviously using, as we all know, think health and safety with these things. Resin is nasty stuff, so just make sure you're in a very well ventilated area, and if you are standing and things like that, wear a respirator. Okay, so down in here we are straight into some of the bits of it. So we've got a little bit of wing spar things, depending obviously if you're going to be go folded or out. We've got little things for that. We've got a wheel well system being fitted down into this one, and then obviously the other half of the wing set being fitted on. And then down obviously in the inside of it, we've got a little bit of detail going down in there. And then obviously we've got various side panels and instrument panels, things like that being fitted down in. We've got the seat system. Obviously we've got the rudders, control stick, seat going fitted down into the nose. Then we've obviously got the nose wheel well. Tail wheel on this one. This thing sits backwards. I keep getting this wrong. So it's the tail wheel system on it, okay? And then obviously we've got the intake system, and then the tail system being fitted onto this one, and then the back end of it, and then obviously the intake being fitted down into that one. And then the front end being fitted to the back end, and then some very nice details showing about the attachment areas of some of the sensors, pitos, things like that. We've got the gun system being fitted onto this one. And then obviously we've got the markings going to be on the back. Again, this is a test shot, so don't read too much into it. We have got some very nicely done decals down in here, as you can see, done by the Fantasy paint shop. So they'll be very nice indeed. We've got decal for the instrument panel, no real stencil data, but we've got nice ejection markings and things like that with them down on there. Now, this is the good bit. This is the bit you've been waiting for. So as you can see, good, solid, very, very high quality resin, and this is what took me back on this particular kit. When I was looking at it, I'm used to resin being a little bit icky and everything else. I don't want to talk about this kit too much because I don't know what I'm on about, but it does appear that this is literally CAD. And then it looks like it's been put in a mould that's been done in CAD purely because of the detail on this one. So if we move in a little bit closer, you can probably see how clean and sharp everything is. This isn't like tooling you traditionally see perhaps on resin kits. This is more akin to something incredibly high quality. Just looking at the internals and the way that there is no real flash, there's certainly no bubbles in it or anything else. But it's just the way that the panel lining, hopefully you can see it, I know it's a little bit difficult on here, it's so sharp. The detail on the top here with these doors and all these parts, absolutely incredible. Just this system in here for the wing is absolutely gorgeous. This is like something you would see on injection moulding high quality, let alone resin. And every now and again you have to pinch yourself, this is actually resin and not plastic, because it feels as solid as plastic right the way through. Again, this is a huge chunk of resin down in here, but there's not a single mark. There's no sinkage into it, there's nothing whatsoever. It's extremely heavy, but generally you can probably see a very high quality in the way that the actual detail is as sharp down on this edge as it is on the surface here is another testament to how good this kit actually is. Okay, so that's very, very nice indeed. And obviously we're exactly the same on the other side, just like that. Again, beautifully, beautifully done. And then we'll just move into grab some of these areas. So the wing detail, again, very, very high quality. Beautifully done, very clever with the moulding in here, all in one, all in resin. And again, these location points, clean, squared, 90 degrees. It's not your normal soft areas. We have got little bits of cleanup going to need doing, but you know, that's no different with what you'll find with plastic. But again, very, very, very nice. I have to say, incredibly impressed with it. And again, we've got some of the other ones down in here. This is the actual wing tips. One's come off. Okay, but as you can see, for that tip area, very nice indeed. Okay, incredibly well detailed. Right, okay, so let's have a quick zip through some of these bags, I think, whilst we're on close up. So we've got some of the details down in here, as you can see. So we've got the internals, we've got the tail hook, the various areas on this one just here. Then we've got the tail. So you've actually got your jet exhaust, all the parts, but again, beautifully detailed on all of these. It looks like this thing would just drop together. The tail, very, very nice. Beautifully done. Again, we've got a tiny bit here, which is the actual hook, so we'll keep that nice and safe in a moment. We've got the tail planes, all moulded in one, beautifully moulded though. Again, the sharpness of this, when obviously it's a plug and it's come out, is absolutely off the chart. Incredibly, very sharply detailed. This has to be the sharpest level of detail I think I've seen on a resin kit to date. I don't think I've seen anything as good as this on a sole resin kit, especially one I've never heard of. Obviously some of your major manufacturers you would expect to see fantastic workings and bits, but on this instrument panel, obviously got a little bit of flash down in there, but that would be taken out. I would then do clear part or solid part behind, instruments all going behind, and then paint weather the front. But again, beautifully done. Very, very nice done. This top detail on here, incredibly sharp. And then we can see some of these parts, intake doors, some stuff around the cockpit, things like that. Very, very nice. Okay, being very careful with this. Okay, so some of the parts off here already, but you can see got the rudder pedals down in here, some of the small details, the hooks, latches, control yoke, things like that. Also got some little tiny bits down in here for the actual sensors, so pitot tubes, things like that. Very nicely done. The nose, again, I don't know how well this all popped together with no cleanup, but you've actually looks like you've got a little tab system. It does look like a tab system. Going to go together, very, very sharply detailed done underneath here. You can see these details around the cockpit, and then again on the inside with the ribbing, all of that detail is absolutely fantastic, beautifully done. You got down in here is your seat, part of the ejector seat system. Very nicely done. There's your other part with the head box, going to go on the back. Again, Level of detail just here on this head box is absolutely incredible. Very, very nicely done. Okay, then last up over here, obviously we've got metal gear, but the tyres are resin, so that's quite handy. You can flat spot them, no problem at all. The hubs look very nice, the gear doors. Again, all these areas, really difficult to find anything to moan about on this. And I moan about resin all the time. So this is your internal for your gear doors, for your main gear, sorry. And all the parts on there. Okay, more of your doors. Clean. I have to say the moulding is a complete blast. It's incredibly clever. That is so thin. I don't know if you can see, that's how thin that is. That's daylight through that. I hold that up to the light, like you can see. That's daylight in there. If I put my finger behind it, you can probably see my finger going behind it down there. That's how thin that is. I hold that up to light, I can almost see through it. That's how close that moulding is, but that just shows how good the engineering is, because that's totally flat, no problem. Okay, so then we've got the undersides for the wings. So obviously you've got this side here, this one will then come in, and it's going to just sit in there just like that. And again, you can see even just test fitting it like that, how good that is. And that's just me resting it on the top. That is absolutely fantastic. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, so we've got those. You've got your gun barrels. All done in there. Very nicely done. And then last up, we've got the other wing part just down in there like that, for that internals. The doors on the insides for the intakes. Very nice indeed. And then we've got, obviously the other door, and then we got down in here a little bit of photo etch for the harness and a couple of little parts, just like that. That's pretty thick stuff though, but very nice. And then down in here we've actually got white metal undercarriage, good, solid. A little bit of seam work on there, just a little bit of a sanded around, and you'd be golden on that, no problem at all. Okay, so last up we've got the cockpit, which looks like they are injection moulded resin, which is interesting because it's either very good or very bad. So we've got two types, and as you can see, that is amazing. I am blown away. This kit never stops to give, but that is absolutely fantastic. There's good sharp edges on this one as well, but look how clear these parts are. Generally, seriously, look how clear that is, and that's injection moulded resin, people. You can see how clear that is on the sprue areas. That is fantastic, phenomenal work. Let's just have a look at this other one. So it's the same front end, but the rear is different. So you've got the one with the clear bubble back. Again, look at that. And who says you can't do clear resin parts? Beautiful, beautiful work. And there you go. That's what I was saying. Sometimes I'm given stuff and you're like, never heard of it, let's have a look. And then you look into it. And when I first opened this box, I was blown away. I think I picked this part up and I was like, wow, it feels as solid and as nice as it's just solid plastic. It does. But the thing is, because it's resin, it's going to go together really, really well. Be nice and easy to sand, to clean up and everything else like that. Too hard coming in, going together. You have got these little tabs for locations as well, so it just makes it a little bit easier. So we've got them top and bottom, just so when it does go together, obviously it all needs cleaning up, you're not going to have any problems. So don't think it's resin, it's got nothing. It has got locating points, but because it's a good, solid, square edges, I can't imagine this being a problem going together. It should fit together with no problems whatsoever. So it's one of those ones where you think resin, you think, oh, actually you see this and you think, do you know what, I can nail that together. That ain't going to be much work at all. It's going to be a really nice, enjoyable kit. I can't tell you any more about this kit because I don't know anything more about it, but I'm sure if you search on the web and stick in there Iconicair 1/32 scale Supermarine Attacker, you should come up with all the details of it. But from my point of view of seeing this blind, I'm blown away. It looks to be an absolutely stunning kit.